12. Nicely struck there by Brian Young. Very well covered outfield. I was watching the fielding practice, particularly the New Zealanders, and all the players were very confident at running in, charging at full tilt from the outfield and picking the ball up one hand, which indicates that the surface is very true here in Mohali.
Yes, I think it's really one of the best grounds that I've seen in the subcontinent. Not only just the green, lush outfield, but the facilities that they have here. I think it's really remarkable how this ground, I think the last 6 to 8 months, since the World Cup at least, it's come up.
Once again, well struck. And with Afridi actually diving to try and save that one, New Zealand pick up the extra run. It's 12 without loss. Outfield quite quick.
Beautifully stuck there. And I think certainly one of the things which there it is, giving the width and also fully pitched up, the batsman had no trouble in striking that ball. And Pakistan, after having sent in the opposition, certainly needs to make sure that they bowl a tidy line and leg.
That's a lovely shot from Nathan Aspel, hitting that one on the rise. That's a lovely shot from Nathan Aspel, hitting that one on the rise. And the first boundary of the innings.
And nicely played too. That was a perfectly timed shot. And not only it was perfection in timing, but also in placement. Because he was on the front foot. And yet the ball, when it wasn't up to him, he stood there it is. And standing up, he punched it between the vacant position of mid-off and extra cover, and first boundary to New Zealanders. Scoring at a very brisk rate. New Zealanders under 3 overs have already reached the 20. 7.5 per over. That's the run rate which obviously the New Zealanders, after having been put in, would very much want in the first 15 overs.
Ramesh Raja has changed the plan a little here now. He's got gully fieldsman and a short cover. He's gone from 2 slips to no slips for Abdul Razak. Perhaps trying to give the young man a chance to settle down.
I'm not sure, Ian, whether it's the right thing, because I think with his pace and the little bit of movement he's getting, I think it's better off at least having one in the catching position on the slip area.
It's 20 without loss. Oh, an excellent shot. Wasn't that far short, but it was picked so quickly. Nathan Aspel in excellent form.
So certainly the New Zealanders, here we'll see Aqib Javed bowling just enough width and length for Aspel to pick that spot. And he had plenty of time to do that. Beautifully played. 4 runs, New Zealand taking the score to 29.
That's a good shot. That's going to make life difficult for the bowlers because they're really going after the ball when it's pitched up. And that's one big improvement in Nathan Aspel's game when he got that 100 full shot.
And interesting to see that when Stephen Fleming was asked to bat, and you were asking about the outcome of the toss, he said that they were going to bat in any case. So obviously they have this plan in their mind where they feel that they are better off batting first against Pakistan.
Keep Jarvid continuing. Into the gap again, and once again this is going to be Inzamam. He's got a good arm, he picks it up, in comes the throw now, but they threw comfortably for 2. Inzamam all on his own, way down there on the boundary.
New Zealand certainly finding the gap. Keep finding the gap again, and Inzamam just moving around there, picking up. Very good feeler.
Loss. Good job it again. That's nicely played. There's no one back there. I'll look for 3 here. Huseman. There goes that cut shot again. Beautifully played. All the way to the fence for 4. Well, that's Brian Young at his best. That short ball outside off stump. He loves it.
Certainly.
That brings up the 50. There it goes. Whistling away towards the boundary. No way that one was going to be cut off.
Back foot cross on top of it. Bringing the bat down on top of the ball, giving it direction. What a beautiful shot.
Pensive, watching the proceedings. The New Zealand captain. These two looking for the pull shot. Well, that's down. That's a beautiful hit. Straight down the ground, into the crowd. That's a magnificent hit. Well, he's decided that if it was up, it was going to go, and go it did.
Certainly a lovely shot right up. The batsman, as you can see, getting right under the ball, and this time picking it up and hitting it straight over the long-on boundary into the fence. What a glorious shot by Askell.
Well, that's the first 6 of the Independence Cup, and there'll be many more. And what's more, the man in your picture bowling now may well dish a few out himself. Nicely played, just knocked into the gap. That's nice timing. Ramiz Raja after it. Another 2 to the total. So, the end of the over. New Zealand 60 for none. Come on. That's cut away, and that'll go for 4 as well. Another boundary. Well, Brian Young is really beginning to turn it on now. He took a while to hit his first boundary, but he's starting to smash him in the middle of the bat.
Yes, certainly a lovely shot again. Cross on top of it, catching it down, beautiful position, and again off the middle, and the ball just rushing into the boundary.
He's got to go at that one. It's gone into the gap. It was a little lucky. A bit of a cross bat hit, but it's gone for 4. So Nathan Astor doesn't want to be left out of this. That takes his score to 35.
Yes, that's what they call the charge. As you see him just before the ball is charged in that one, and just through the vacant, the down position there, mid-wicket. It wasn't timed as well as like it, but timed well enough to go to the boundary. And that's the kind of shots they've been playing with the feeling, I think, that they are looking to get as many runs. And in 15 overs, when the field go out there, would probably have the runs in, and they'll be looking to pick up their singles in between. But a very, very good start here.
That's nicely played too, nicely fielded. Didn't try and hit that one too hard. Just the single to Astor. And, of course, that's the end of the over. 69 for none.
Certainly turned a few here.
Short delivery, pulled away down the square leg. They'll come back for 2 here. In fact, will it go all the way? No, it won't. Picked up on the fence, and they settle for 2. So that's the end of the over. New Zealand move on to 74 for none.
It's titled.
That's brilliantly played. He's found the gap again on the onside for yet another boundary.
And these two New Zealand batsmen are certainly taking the game away from Pakistan, because what Pakistan, although I do accept the fact that they have the weakling in their strength is their bowling, but certainly after putting them in, won't want New Zealand to get very many runs, because no matter what runs they get and what sort of batting lineup Pakistan may have, it is still they have to go and get it. So that puts added pressure on the batting lineup. And certainly I'm sure that Ramesh Raja would very much want to keep this New Zealand three-scoring spree to as minimum as possible.
Come on, Kenny. What has really surprised me after just seeing the in the air and in the gap as well. That's another boundary for Brian Young.
And magnificently hit too, because not only he picked the right spot, but he also made sure that in spite of the ball being in the air, still beats the inside field and 4 more runs. Yes, Ravi, coming back to the selection of the team, I think the two thoughts didn't go together. Firstly, the thought of fielding first on the grounds of obviously that the batting is the one which is capable of chasing any score that the opposition is going to pose. But then on the other hand, if you have spinners, 3 spinners playing,
Still there with him. And boundaries here coming thick and fast for New Zealand.
yes, and I think what we are seeing, Pakistan is in danger of allowing New Zealand to overhaul their previous best score against Pakistan, which they scored, I think, in Sharjah, something like 260 odd. And also Pakistan scored 330 something against New Zealand. And the way these two New Zealand batsmen are going,
He goes over the top here. There's no man at mid-wicket, but even if there was one at deep mid-wicket, we won't even come into the picture. Clean hit for 6.
and with that 6 he gets on to his 50. And what a mighty hit that was, posting the 100 as well for the New Zealanders. And I'm sure that Mohammad Hussain there was nothing wrong with the ball. He did the right thing. He bowled a decent enough length, but even a fielder at the boundary line wouldn't have caught that.
And again, beautifully played. He played that late so that he could get the placement right. And the ball had enough legs on it to reach the fence. Lovely.
Not all that shot, but was just enough width for the batsman to pierce that inside field and picking up 4 runs. 61 of 57 deliveries. It's great going by any standards. 2 sixes and 7 fours.
This Mohali pitch already looking an excellent one for batting. The ball really coming on to the bat.
There's 3 on the onside now. Oh, and a hit. The captain will be very annoyed at that piece of bowling. Just brought the man across to the offside, and then the young left arm spinner Hussain lobs up a full toss on leg stump.
And again, loose ball and played right through the gap. Then it just show you the way these New Zealand batsmen is taking advantage of any loose ball. They're finding the gap and finding them well.
Well, I hope the Pakistan batsmen are night owls, because they're going to have a big chase on their hands, and the match doesn't finish till after midnight. Freely. But a very quick Yorker there, and Abdul Razak has finally got the breakthrough, getting rid of Brian Young.
Yes, very, very good delivery there. I think that Brian Young, as you can see, right up in the block hole, a bit too late on it, and went to hit the middle stump, and that is the breakthrough that Pakistan has been looking for. And Raka has really got the breakthrough Pakistan has been looking for. And the score, 155 for 125 overs.
Nice shot. Beats Ramesh Raja. And it'll go all the way.
Certainly a much better shot. Ball coming onto him, waiting for it to come onto the bat, and then just rolling his wrist over, giving the ball direction. lovely time ball, and I think that would give him a little bit more confidence.
Catch it!
Runs into the gap as well on the offside. That time just a single. Takes him to 98. Straight down. Tries to cut that one away. No searching for a gap. He's on 98. Plays it into the gap. That takes him to 99. So just one short of his century. And he's now down at the other end. So Matt Horn. Well, that's well played. Very good shot. He's whipped that one over the top of mid-wicket, and it'll go all the way to the fence for 4. Well, it was on leg stump, and he couldn't have played the shot in a better fashion.
Well, haven't they picked their spot well, the New Zealanders? Again, using the pace, just tipping it over mid-wicket. There was no man in the deep. And the timing was good enough for the ball to reach the fence.
So Matt Horn starting to turn it on. He's moved on to 17. Only 22 balls he's faced. And again, forcefully driven through the offside. Another no ball called by umpire Venkat.
This will not please the Pakistan.
Balls on strike. 99 he has. Beautifully played. That's his century. His 4th century in one-day internationals. And he'll never have played a better one. He scored his runs in quick time, and everyone at this lovely ground in Chandigarh have appreciated his knock.
Well, it's been a top-class innings by this New Zealand opener. Right from the beginning, he's looked confident. He's timed his shots extremely well. And the most important feature of this inning.
That's nicely played again. He loves that onside shot. Just a little flick. They'll come back for 2. And so I suppose now, the New Zealanders, and what's more, there's your moon, Robbie.
Not
continuing with his leg spinners. So far, Shahid Afridi, no wicket for 22.
ball, boy.
Chance there for Mohan, and he just lifts the one bail. Nathan Askell's 4th one-day international century comes to an end.
And there he is going for the big head, and Moin Khan doing the rest. Magnificent mark from New Zealand's point of view, 117 or 1.
Afridi getting it on the bowling hand there. But he can still smile after taking a wicket in that over. And he's been rewarded for just slowing his pace a little, flighting the ball nicely, and that's brought him a little bit of turn and the wicket of Nathan Askell.
And that's how Nathan Askell got out. And I think New Zealand here will have to be a bit careful if they are looking for a target of 300 plus, that they don't lose their way, because going for big shots with wickets in hand is always very tempting. It's only good when it comes good. But if it doesn't, then you fall short of the target that you are capable of getting after getting a start like the New Zealanders did.
Going to continue at the Shivala Hill end.
Lovely ball, boy.
I'm sure Chris Haynes has been promoted, knowing that not many overs left, all the wickets in hand. But New Zealanders would very much want him to get as many overs as possible and try and post a good target. And a good stop there by Salim Malik, preventing what would certainly have been at least 2 or 3 runs. Nicely played by Chris Haynes there, and a good stop by Salim.
bouncing back off the wicketkeeper onto the stumps. Just looking at that stumping of Mohan Khan, all the old-time wicketkeepers would have been delighted with this bit of work. Just neatly lifting the bails, just flipping the off bail. That's how the old wicketkeepers used to do it. Just flick one bail off, make it nice and neat and tight.
To play him on the offside.
He's picked up a wicket for his trouble. Horn backing away, trying to give himself room to cut the ball, and Saqlain has struck.
And the important thing about this performance by the Pakistan spinners, that's good running, and they'll get another overthrow here. No, sent back. Chris Cairns. Bit of sloppy cricket here by Pakistan. Coming back to this performance by the spinners, they bowled to their field, and that's a good thing. So we saw early on with the new ball, they were giving runs on both sides of the wicket. Very difficult for a captain to set a field for that kind of bowling. But they've really tightened up in the last 5 or 6 overs.
The New Zealand batsmen should be looking to keep the score taken over, looking for the singles. The Pakistan feeling, as Ravi said, been very shabby. Saw a lot of misfeeling and a few catches went a bag in here and there, but the spin bowlers, which is important in one-day cricket, they bowl to one side of the field, and the spin bowlers really did that, and they managed to curb again the New Zealand fast rate of scoring.
Another good over there by Saqlain Mushtaq, coming to an end. 245 for 3.
Pakistan has a fairly good batting lineup, and if they can get over 300 runs, it makes it very difficult for them.
This is in the air, but in the gap as well. Another couple of runs here for New Zealand and Fleming. Just talking about this pitch, it's a good batting track. And this one really not coming onto the bat.
And that is what the New Zealanders have been finding difficulty with the ball not coming on, playing their shots too early and not timing them as well as they were earlier on.
The last 2 matches that were played here. Come back to that after this ball from Aqib Javed. Just a single on the onside. We saw in the Titan Cup, the team that batted first won the game. We also saw in the Wills World Cup, the team that batted first won the game. And now, in this Pepsi Independence Cup, New Zealand look like favourites, but anything is possible in this game. And I think Pakistan, with their batting lineup, cannot be discounted for not getting the runs. They are perfectly capable of chasing this big total.
And it's a very good batting wicket. There is nothing wrong with this wicket. Certainly a wicket that the ball is coming on, and with the new ball, that's a lovely shot there, bringing 1 run. But with the ball coming on to the bat, with the new ball comes out,
and West Indies losing that big semi-final in the World Cup. This is nicely played by the New Zealand captain. Beautifully picked up off his toes, overshot fine leg, and into the fence.
That's certainly what Pakistan doesn't want at this stage. A half volley down the leg side. And Fleming certainly not making any mistake at all. Lovely shot into the fence, and that was certainly at the scoring rate. And they're certainly looking to get after the bowling now. Pakistan have to be very careful now of what line they bowl. Have to tighten up.
Yes, you just cannot afford to bowl that line of leg stump, because the man at short fine leg is in the circle. So it's a free hit for Fleming if he bowls leg stump just outside.
Well done.
Khan, Chris Harris, Adam Karori, Deepak Patel, Gavin Larson, they can all bat. Chris Cairns is a powerful striker of the ball. He's on strike.
Pakistan will have to use all the experienced bowlers here. At this stage, the bowlers would have to be concentrating very hard. With 256 runs on the board, 3 wickets, still 29 balls to go. New Zealand would be looking to push this well over 300. The Pakistan bowlers are going to have to try to stop them the best way they can, and the best way is to try and keep the ball up into the block hole.
And in Saqlain Mushtaq, they have a very capable man. He's gone this time, hitting it straight back to the Pakistan off-spinner, and another New Zealand wicket goes. The captain dismissed by Saqlain Mushtaq.
Another good delivery. Pitch trap. That's the kind of breakthrough. Pitch right up there, and not coming on. Chris Flannery looking to hit the ball through the covers, and then the ball just held up. Slow on, and that was a good delivery.
Just a single to end the over. Another very good over for Pakistan. 258 for 4.
When to be trying to get at least 4 runs and over 5, just drop it, pick up the singles, and look for the odd boundary in between.
Again, this time the backing up is there. But he's in the thick of things, Ijaz Ahmed. The ball keeps following him. Very good fielder. Missed a pretty simple catch earlier on. And now the New Zealand run rate, 5.63. Good comeback this by Pakistan.
Bowlers bowling a better line, keeping the ball up. This is when things get real tight. When coming down to the end, wickets in hand, the batsman looking to attack every ball. The bowlers got to be very, very on the alert. Got to keep the ball up to the batsman.
Again, well bowled by Aqib Javed. The good thing here is he's bowling straight. When he does that and pitches the ball up, the batsman has to hit straight, and he's got a field set for that. He's got a long on, a long off, and even a low full toss at this stage of the innings is not a bad delivery. Not easy to get away.
Very difficult when the ball is delivered into that block hole, especially the batsman backing away, looking to give himself room. And this is the time where the bowlers have got to be very careful. Can't afford to bowl short pitch deliveries.
They won't mind that. Pakistan at this stage of the innings won't mind giving 1s and 2s. The boundaries they don't want to give. Yes, 2 good overs, and they might just be there. He's bowled in. Excellent over this from Aqib Javed. Finally rewarded with a lovely Yorker.
Very, very good delivery. Right up. Makes it very difficult. Keep it up, and it's always going to be difficult for the batsman. And that was a very, very good delivery.
264 for 5 before he gets the chance to take strike. Bowled him. Another wicket here for Saqlain Mushtaq. So things happening here for Pakistan. Chris Harris there, beaten all ends up.
Very good comeback by Pakistan. Good bowling, very good delivery, wide of the stumps. Again, looking again, slight cross of the line back, thick inside edge. And Pakistan, again, another wicket, 264 to 6. And New Zealand now seems as though they're... So Adam Perore, the new man, coming out to the middle.
Chris Harris, the last man dismissed, playing on here, looking again to drive through the offside, getting an inside edge. Unfortunately for him, the ball going back and hitting the middle and off stump. Terrific comeback this by Pakistan. They bowled really well in the last 6 overs or so. In the last 6 overs, they've given 30 runs and they picked up 4 wickets. So clear indication that they've really fought back well here. Adam Parore, a lot of experience for him as well. 70 matches, averaging 33.55. Normally comes in the top of the order, bats at number 3. And straight away going for the sweep shot to open his account.
Pakistan has certainly taken the initiative away from New Zealand, and that 300 that they're looking for
is an excellent find for Pakistan, and every time you see him, he seems to be improving. And a single to end the over. 267 for 6. Mix things up. And from the Pakistan point of view, they'll be looking for a real cracking start.
That would be very important. A good start in one-day cricket, particularly when you're chasing a big total, is very, very important.
Aja and Saeed Anwar, they are the men who will open the innings. This man's a dynamic player if he gets going. And that will disappoint Javed at this stage. It was a good delivery, but he's overstepped here, so he'll have to go back and bowl another one. Dale is 39 years of age. That's good work on his part. This time he won't get the second. He will, in fact, get the second. A bad bounce for the bowler, really bad bounce, and he could be seriously hurt.
To test. Yes, they hit him in the foot mark and hit him in the. Have been worse.
This is a big one. There is a man at long on, but it'll beat him. It goes over the ropes as well. 6 signal by umpire Venkatraghavan. So good hit there by Parore.
Yes, a lovely shot. Short type of ball that you really don't want to bowl at this stage of the innings. You don't want to give the batsman a chance to play across the line of the ball. And we took a little bit of edge off of him.
So the final over here for Pakistan, bowled by Saqlain Mushtaq. This is going to be close. In fact, I think he's gone. Very good throw from the deep. And Deepak Patel, in fact, is walking back to the pavilion.
Yes, very good throw. Strong arm. New Zealand is obviously looking to run for everything now. So he picked it up, turned, and picked the right end to throw it up. Normally you will find in situations like this that the fielder normally will throw to the wrong end, but that was a good throw, right over the top. The wicketkeeper didn't even have to move it in. And the score is 282 for 7.
And this is again going to be close. Again, another direct hit. Umpire Venkatraghavan asking for the third umpire. Very often in the past we've seen whenever the fielder hits the stumps direct, more often than not, the batsman is caught short of his ground. We'll have to take a look here.
Could be interesting. Let's have a look. Very close. Look. It looks out. Oh, that other one is very difficult. Very difficult.
Out to the batsman. For length and try and tuck him up.